It's match day preview time, and we're here now to preview the I believe it's the 41st game of the Mariners League season, as we are back at Blundell Park, and what can I say? We host Morecambe, and it's two teams in completely two different objectives, I think, for the season now. And just as much of a challenge in both ways. Obviously, this is a game that people are going to think Town should, have the upper hand in. So I'll give you a few facts, figures, and all that good stuff, including a little bit of the pre-match press conference that took place on Thursday with David Artell, which was conducted by John Tondo. We'll go about that sort of now, I think. It seems as if we're sort of like going to be near enough in the same shape. We are still going to be without a recognised striker on the pitch by the looks of what David was saying. He did say, when he asked a little bit more about the referee, he did go and talk to the referee. I felt like it was probably the poorest referee I've seen in football for this season at least. And he said he got somewhat of an explanation and somewhat not, but I think Artell's done quite well in not, in not giving, shall we say, too much away. Anyway, when it comes to team news, obviously, like I said, there is still no recognised striker. Looks like they're going to be available, and it looks like there could be one more down. According to Artell, there could be one more player down, and that would be a real kick in the teeth. He said we should know by obviously 2 o'clock Saturday. We'll find out maybe what that injury or who that injury is to. Not the time where you really want to be hitting injuries, is it? Really, in the running, the last thing you really want to do is be having to pick up major injuries, not having a striker, and obviously now having somebody else out injured. What he did mention about Danny Rose is he is improving. He'll be on concussion protocol, which I think it's 2 weeks with no. I believe, from what I know, it's 2 weeks no contact. So he could do sort of training. Artell was saying that he can only get his heart rate up to a certain. Well, he can do light training, but obviously he can't do. I believe it is with anything that has an impact sort of sport. I think it's 2 weeks. Where you can't, and then you look in it and keep evaluating it, which is what the doctors and medical professionals are doing with Danny, by sort of what David Artell was saying. He's not been given a timeline because he has to go through the protocols. I don't expect to see him minimum till possibly after Harrogate before we actually see Danny Rose again, or with a chance of really realistically seeing Danny Rose again. So to me, it's anybody's, shall we say. As to who will play up top, it could be the same as Tuesday night. It could be somebody else, completely different. Who knows? It wouldn't surprise me if it was Barrington and Luca again. It would be nice if we had some kind of striker available, but obviously we're not going to. So that's a team who's a bit disappointing for us, that we won't have a recognised striker in the squad for the foreseeable. In the meantime, we move on to a few stats now on this. Obviously, as we know, Morecambe lie in second from bottom position with 36 points scored. The Mariners lie in 7th place with 62 points and a -3 goal difference, whereas Morecambe at 36 with a minus 21 goal difference. 10 wins from 40 games for Morecambe. For Grimsby, it's 19 from 40. So, it's a mismatch there, people would probably say. Obviously, Morecambe are headed by Derek Adams, and they've got, they had the influx of players at the start of the season. Former Mariner Luke Hendry being one of them, and Jan Songo, who the other year was at Walsall a season or so ago. So they do have league nous, but they've really struggled to get anything going. Although they have won their last 2 fixtures, Morecambe, whereas the Mariners have lost 3 of their last 5 games in the league. But actually, it's 50-50 the record. We've won 3 and lost 3 of our last 6. So if you look at it like that, it's not that bad of a record. So it's going to be a challenge, but we're at home. Obviously, the challenge mainly is trying to win the home games. I think we have to target the home matches and try and win those, and hopefully trying to get another win or so on the road to really cement a playoff place. If you look at the goals scored for the sides, 54 goals for Grimsby Town, only 36 goals in 40 games for Morecambe, so they've definitely not been in the most goal scoring form throughout the season. But we've conceded the same amount of goals as each other, 57 goals each. 329 shots for Grimsby to 287 for Morecambe. Shots on target is 159 for us, 126 for them. Shots off target, 161 for Morecambe, 170 for the Mariners. Morecambe had 136 block shots. We've had 127. The passing accuracy, Grimsby just edged that with close to 69%, whereas Morecambe have a 64% pass accuracy rate. Again, this from losing positions. Points dropped from a losing position. I'll say Grimsby have still picked up the 12 points. Morecambe have only picked up the 2 points from losing positions. The Mariners have dropped 8 points from winning positions. Morecambe have dropped 13 points from winning positions. That could be an omen of whoever gets the first goal. Whoever gets the first goal could, if we get the first goal, it could mean that we could go on to win it a canter. If not, it's one of those maybe that, it would give Morecambe something to hang on to if they could get it. So it'd be interesting to say, but I'd always say the first goal is always crucial, because if you get the first goal, especially being at home, it would lift everybody and lift the tension. And if you can get a win over Morecambe, it'll just stop everyone's bit of a panic. In regards to the form guide, there's not a lot of difference in the form guide, to be completely honest. Obviously, Grimsby have lost 3 of the last 5. Last one obviously being midweek against Crewe at Crewe. Probably caught them. I suppose the good thing is, last few days, Artel has been able to work with the players that he's got. But before that, getting the 2-1 win at Colchester and beating Newport by a goal to nil as well, with 2 losses prior to that to Salford City and Notts County. Morecambe have not really had a good run, but in the last 5 games they've actually picked up 7 points. A 2-0 win at home to Cheltenham and a 1-0 win at home to Swindon, while they have lost at Port Vale by a goal to nil, a draw at home to Barrow, and a 2-1 defeat at the MK Dons. So away, they really haven't been that good. That'll give us, I think, a little bit more hope at home. We shall just wait and see. Can we, can we bounce back from midweek defeat? In recent times, we have done well in bouncing back. Whether we can again or not, we'll see. I'll soon be giving you my prediction for the game. If we look at the previous meetings, in the last 26 previous meetings between Morecambe and Grimsby Town, Morecambe have the upper hand with 10 wins to 7, with 9 draws in there. So Morecambe, they have an upper hand in that. The last 3 results, which is also mentioned across here, the last 3 results obviously was November of 2023. Morecambe got a 3-2 win. That was, of course, under Sean Pearson and Ben Davis with the 3-2 win just before David Artel took over. In February last year, we went to Morecambe and got a 1-1 draw. And back in December, we went to Morecambe and got a 3-0 win there. So 2 wins and a draw for the Mariners in the last 3 meetings. Some facts here. Grimsby Town unbeaten across the last 3 Football League games against Morecambe, and we'll be looking to go 4 unbeaten against them for the first time. We've never gone 4 unbeaten against Morecambe, so let's hope we can do that over on Saturday. Morecambe have won 3 of their last 5 away league games against Grimsby, losing 2, with those victories all coming via different scorelines: 2-1, 2-0 and 3-0. And a couple of those were including during the COVID season as well. So, they have got some good memories of coming to Blundell Park and getting results. Hopefully that doesn't happen this weekend. Grimsby have lost 3 of their last 5 league games, winning 2, as many as their previous 14 beforehand, winning 7, drawing 4 and losing 3 beforehand. We have, but also we got 2 in a row in that 5 that they're talking about. Obviously getting the 2 wins prior to the loss to Crewe, so that's kind of balanced out in other ways. When we have lost a couple, we've then gone and won a couple, so it's kind of levelled it off. And the final fact here is Morecambe have lost each of their last 8 away league games in succession, scoring just 2 goals in that time. It's the longest ever losing run on their travels in the top 4 tiers. Again, that is a stat that will give Grimsby fans and that a lot of hope that we can solidify our place in the playoffs. But it's going to be a tricky game. It's going to be one of these. If it becomes really open, I think Grimsby will possibly get it. What Morecambe want to do, they'll want to make it. I think Morecambe will want to make it scrappy. If Morecambe can make it a scrappy game, obviously, like I said, they're fighting for their lives down at the bottom. So they need something. I think this in some ways can be classed as one of the most difficult. I think it's one of the best games we could have had. Because they're fighting as much as we are, but at the opposite end. So it actually could end up being a real good game of football, or it could be a real lousy game of football. It's one of those games that until you go there on the day, you just don't know. You literally just don't know. But if there's one thing I will say, it's an intriguing battle because both sides are playing for something, which makes it knowing that Morecambe are going to want to come here and do something because they need a win, and Grimsby, we need a win because of where we are as well. So it'll be interesting. It'll either be a real tight and cagey affair, or it'll be a fluid, flowing affair. Try and say that when you've had a couple of drinks, but a fluid, flowing affair. So who really knows? I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one. Because obviously people are going to look at this and go, this should be a banker 3 points. I'm not at that where I think it's a banker 3 points. I think it's a must 3 points. And I think the remaining 3 games at home are really key. They are really important that we get them. Because, we need to try and keep as much of a gap as we can. The gap's only down to 1 after Crewe's win. But the 3 home games could be critical. Now, what do I think is going to be the scoreline for this game? I don't know, with us not having an out-and-out striker in the team. I don't know. I think most Mariners fans will take any result as long as we get it that's positive. Again, I think the first goal is going to be absolutely key in this game for both sides. For us, because if we do, we may go on and dominate. If Morecambe get it, it'll give them something to sort of hang on to and cling on to. So it could be the first goal game, I call it, this sort of game. What would I give? What am I going to give the scoreline for? I'm just going to go for a 1-0 win for Grimsby. I know it's not. I know it's very, very, like, why don't you say 3 or 4? Again, we don't have an out-and-out striker in the team. I think we've got people in the team that can score a goal or a set piece or something like that. But I'm only going to go 1-0. I'm gonna say 1-0 for the Mariners. I've got a feeling this could be a very, very cagey affair at the same time. But I'm going to say 1-0. Goal scorer, Svan Thorsen, I think will get the goal. I think we need to use our width, and I think we need to have people ready in the box with the movement. The movement's going to be so key tomorrow because we don't want sort of like Denver Hume getting to the byline, putting early crosses in, and sometimes against Crewe they weren't reading it. And like I said in the review, they looked a step off. But I think we need to use our width Saturday. We need to, and we need to sort of know our pitch positions. Because, like I said, against Crewe we didn't seem to know that, and we just need to. We need to be tactful about this game. So, I'm saying 1-0. Now, I want you guys' opinion. What are your thoughts for the game? What do you think the scoreline is going to be? Who do you think is going to be the goal scorers? Where do you think the goal is going to come from in this game? And, how key do you think the home games for the Mariners are in this running? I think they're absolutely crucial as to where we may finish. Because I think if we can win the remaining, 2 home games, it'll be all to play for Wimbledon at the beginning of May. So 3 wins. I think 4 wins and we're definitely in. 3 wins and hopefully 4 wins. I think we need 4 wins out of 6 to be certain. But we have to start with this one. Let me know how important you think the home games are. Like I said, I think they're very important. Let me know down below your score, your goal scorer, and can the Mariners bounce back? And how do you feel about not having a fit striker in the building? That's the only thing that alarms me. You can kind of make do with not so many midfielders. You can kind of manage defensively to a degree. When you're losing your striker options, it's real on. But leave me your comments down below, your thoughts. And will you be at Blundell Park tomorrow? If not, I'm sure overseas people will be able to watch the game on Mariners TV. I'm sure they do overseas. And if not, I'm sure people that aren't at the ground. But let's get behind the lads and let's try and see them get over this. What is going to be a very tough hurdle, and hopefully keep our playoff push alive. But I will be at the ground tomorrow. Let me know if you do see me at the ground. Come and say hey, and let me know what you think in person and what your hopes are for the remainder of the season. And obviously I've got a couple of videos lined up coming up in the next couple of weeks, not just the reviews and the previews, but a little bit something about the season tickets, which they were released as of speaking today. So I think that could be a smart move, but I'll give my opinions on all things season tickets in an upcoming video, and obviously the date for the return of the Football League has been announced as well. So I've got a video coming up about those 2 things. So there are a couple of the videos that are coming towards this channel, this Grimsby Town based channel. But leave your comments down below for the game. Let me know who you think will score, what the score will be, can the Mariners keep the playoff form going, and how key do you feel the 3 home games against Morecambe, Swindon and Wimbledon are going to be to hopefully confirm the Mariners' playoff place? Let me know all that and more down below, and leave me your questions. I'm going to try and build something up for the close season as well, because I will, at the end of the season in general, I will be taking a couple of weeks break, which I'll go into more towards the end of the season. But like, share, subscribe, comment, all that wonderful stuff, you wonderful, beautiful people. And if I don't see you at the game Saturday, get it right, as I record it tomorrow at Blundell Park, I will see you in the review video, which will be coming out Saturday night. In the meantime, ladies, gents, and all the people in between, it's always a pleasure, and it's always a pleasure to get your feedback on all things Grimsby Town. Leave your comments down below for me. I'll see you soon. Up the Mariners. Let's try and bounce back from the midweek defeat, and let's try and get the feel-good factor. Let's hope that doesn't fade away, and let's try and make it good for the running. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Up the Mariners. Let's go. Let's try and make this one. Let's make this game count. Let's do it. See you soon. Bye-bye.